So comfortable seat on your mat. You can face the top of your mat. I just face sideways, so I'm looking at you. But take a moment, and if you need to, just kind of wiggle around or stretch a little bit. Not even if you need to, just if it feels good. I think in the morning especially, it's like the nicest thing to just move a little, stretch a little, see how your body's doing. And then as you're ready, no rush, find stillness. So sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, relax through your face, unclench your jaw, soften your shoulders, and then just be intentional with where you place your hands. So your lap is perfectly fine as long as you choose it intentionally. You can bring your hands to your heart. You can bring one hand to heart space, one hand to belly, so whatever resonates for you. And then take a moment to just tune in, to become more present, more aware, to arrive more fully inside your own body. So letting go just a little bit of your thinking, talking, judging mind, and just allowing yourself to feel from the inside out. Start to notice the rise and fall of your breath. And then next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. So think of breathing all the way down to the base of your spine. Hold in fullness. And then when you're ready, just big open mouth sigh, release. Do that twice more. So inhale, fill up. Breathe all the way down into the base of your spine. So feel your low belly and your low back expand and inflate with your inhale. Imagine you can breathe all the way up into the crown of your head as well. So you're completely full with breath. Hold. And when you're ready, huge open mouth sigh. And just feel your entire body kind of soften. One more time. So inhale, fill up. Breathe into all the little tiny spaces, even in your arms, your legs, your fingers, your toes. Hold in fullness. And keep holding your breath, but see if you can relax around it. Soften your outer shell. And exhale, big open mouth sigh, release. Good, you guys. Start to engage your Ujjayi breath now. So seal your lips gently. And then in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So take a moment just connecting to your own breath, finding your own internal rhythm. And then when you are ready to add some movement, you might start in your seat, just kind of moving through your upper body, maybe circling your torso. Maybe you want to reach your arms up or reach your arms forward, clasp your hands, press out through your palms. So lots of ways we can start to explore our bodies, explore movement in our bodies. So in about your next 3 to 5 breaths, we're going to meet on our hands and our knees. And I'm going to give you an option only if you want to take it. So option to take some spinal rolls. So bringing your knees towards your chest, grab behind your thighs, and then roll all the way back. So your hips lift, and then just roll all the way up. So take a few rolls, a few rock and rolls forward and back. Just massaging out the length of your spine. I used to hate these, and I used to not be able to make them feel very good or very smooth, but now I love them, and I think they're so good for us. So engage your core, rock it back and forth a few times. Chin to chest, belly button pulls back towards your spine, and just start to build up a little bit of momentum, but stay in control. So you could stop anytime you want to. And then when you're ready, no rush. Eventually we'll rock up, cross our ankles, bring our hands to the ground in front of us, And then everybody meet in a tabletop position, hands and knees. Once you're on your hands and knees, same thing we've been doing, little bit of intuitive movement. So hip circles, cat-cows. Maybe you want to sit back into a child's pose. Perhaps you want to come forward to cobra or scorpion cobra. So just feel into your own body. Notice those places that feel a little bit stiff or a little bit tight. Give your awareness to them. Send your breath into those spaces. I would encourage you to close your eyes. So let go of how you look. I think so many times we're way too worried about how we look. If we look weird, let go of that and just allow yourself to feel. So start to create a deeper awareness on the inside. And then just in your next few breaths, next 3 or 4 rounds, downward facing dog is where we will end up. So when you're ready, downward facing dog. And once you do arrive in your down dog, no hurry, but give yourself some time to reconnect to your big, strong Ujjayi breaths. So if you've lost track already, that's okay. Just come back over and over again. Big, spacious inhales and long, strong exhales all the way to empty. And then use your breath in your down dog to support you, to make you feel strong, to make you feel that sense of lift and buoyancy as you breathe in. Feel that sense of connection to center. Hug into your center. Feel your intrinsic strength as you exhale. If you want to move in your down dog, kind of explore your shoulders, your hips, maybe pedal out your heels, work into the backs of your legs. Anything that calls to you. This is your pose, your expression of this pose today in this moment. So how does it feel? Breathe into it and just simply notice. And make those little adjustments to be more efficient in your own body, to make the pose better suited for you. Let's take just one more deep breath. And then at the end of your exhale, look forward, and however you want to get there, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. Pause here for a moment. So if you want to take ragdoll and grab opposite elbows, go for it. Maybe you want to bring hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Lately, I've been enjoying keeping my fingertips on the ground and just walking my hands to one side, kind of stretching there, breathing there, and then walking my hands to the other side. So anywhere you want to go, just feel into your forward fold. Breathe into your forward fold. Make sure, so one of the biggest misalignments I see is people like to rock back into their heels and lock out their knees. I think they feel like their legs are straighter. Try to keep your weight forward so you're more in your toes and the balls of your feet. It's fine if you have a little or even a big bend in your knees, as long as you are actively lifting your sit bones up towards the sky. Then you will still get that nice stretch down the backs of your legs through your hamstrings. So even if you have a bend in your knees, just think of lifting your butt up really, really high. Move your inner thighs back, wide, and apart. So you want to broaden your sit bones. It's like you're trying to really stick your butt up in the air. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Good, everybody. Next time you breathe in, find your halfway lift. We're going to pause here for just a moment today. So nice and long through your spine. Personally, I like my fingertips on the fronts of my shins. You can choose where you place your hands. There's not a lot of weight in them anyways. With my fingertips on my shins, I just feel like I can really get my spine nice and long, parallel to the ground. So take a moment to just feel into your halfway lift. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Think of sticking your butt out behind you, and imagine you're trying to press the tops of your thighs back so you feel the front of your thighs engaging. front of your thighs. Press back and fire up. And then really lengthen from the crown of your head back to your sit bones. Back muscles squeeze around your spine, but then notice, did you let go with your belly? Pull your navel in and up. Take one more big inhale. So much awareness in this basic posture. There's so much going on. Exhale, release, let it go. And we'll go one more time into our halfway lift. Find your alignment just in this one breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, let it go. This time, halfway lift, and then continue to rise all the way to stand. Reach your arms up. Big inhale, lengthen, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Flowing with your breath. Inhale, high mountain reach. And exhale, take a slow swan dive. So lots of length as you dive down. Then let it go. Fold in. Halfway lift. Breathe in. So back muscles hug. Low abdominals tone. Thighs press back. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet. Lead with your heart all the way up. Inhale, take your arms up, maybe a little gaze up, and exhale, heart center, Anjali Mudra. One more round like that. Inhale, high mountain. And exhale, ride your breath down. So take the entire length of your exhale. It should feel really good. At the very end of your exhale, let it go. Relax your neck. Halfway lift as you inhale. So lots of length. Broaden through your sit bones. Think of sticking your butt out behind you. Exhale, release, forward fold. Now press into your feet. Lead with your heart. Unhinge at your hips. So come all the way up to stand. Reach up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. Side body stretch of your choice to the right. So your upper body goes to the right, hips go to the left. So maybe you're grabbing your left wrist, maybe you're taking ragdoll arms overhead, maybe you've got your right hand on your right hip and you're just reaching with your left arm. So your choice, no right or wrong, just have the intention of really lengthening through your left side. Breathe into your left ribs, the space between your ribs. Breathe into your left waistline. Take one more round. And then with your inhale, come through center, realign, lengthen. Exhale, other side, your variation. So up and over to the left, send your hips to the right. You want a little more weight in your right foot, maybe even a lot more weight, so I can actually just lift my left foot up if I want to. And then hips reach over to the right. Upper body further to the left. Keep your right shoulder plugged into the socket. So if you are holding onto your right wrist, make sure you're not just pulling your arm out of the socket. You're still in integrity. Take one more big deep breath. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades hug your spine. And then if you can, start to reach your hands back away from your body. Try not to lock out your elbows. If you want a little bit more, press your hips gently forward, but hug an invisible yoga block with your inner thighs so your low abdominals stay toned. Lift your heart up, reach your knuckles down, so little baby back bend. Breathe into the front of your heart. One more big inhale. Hands stay clasped. Exhale, hinge at your hips, take it all the way down, forward fold. Neck relaxes at the bottom. Give yourself about 3 rounds just hanging out in your forward fold with your fingers interlaced behind your back. So try to keep your weight forward in your feet. Lift your butt up even if you have a big bend in your knees. Your sit bones are lifting. Belly button draws in and up. Crown of your head reaches towards the ground, so let your neck relax. See if you can reach your knuckles higher and maybe even start to reach them slightly forward. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to your low back, release your clasp, and then as you inhale, find your halfway lift. Lengthen out. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. You're welcome to come to your knees if you want to modify today. Take a great big inhale and push the ground away with your hands. Exhale, one strong straight line, lower down. Today, back bend of your choice. So baby cobra, Spider-Man cobra, full cobra, Sphinx up dog. Give yourself as many breaths as you'd like. Take a little bit of movement, perhaps. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. So please feel free to stay in your regular downward facing dog. If it feels really good to just stretch and breathe there, then that's perfect. If you would like, option to take what is called frog dog. So you're going to bring your hands to the outer edges of your mat and actually grab hold of the outer edges of your mat. And then imagine you're trying to pull your mat apart into two pieces. So to the right and left, your arms pull out to both sides. Now bend your knees a lot and lift your hips really high. So you're pulling your mat apart in two opposite directions. Hips are lifted, knees are bent. You feel like a frog, like you could pounce forward, jump forward at any second. Keep breathing. Imagine you've got a rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up towards the sky, so your hips are still lifted really, really high. Relax your neck, soften your face. Take about 2 more rounds of breath. Notice any imbalances you might have in your feet. So if you tend to rock onto the outer edges, your big toes lift, then root down through your big toes. If you're rocking into the inner edges, root down through your baby toes. So just start to notice those little tiny adjustments you can make. Take one more inhale, bring your palms back to your mat, regular down dog. Exhale, look forward, empty out, step, tiptoe, or hop forward, fold. Once you've arrived, find your halfway lift, breathe in. And as you exhale, bow, let it go. Press into your feet, lead with your heart, rise up. Inhale, take your arms to the sky, big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Okie dokie, let's start to build our flow. So inhale, high mountain. And this time, just exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend, low abdominals stay strong as your heart opens. Inhale, re-extend your arms, realign your spine. And with your exhale, take a slow swan dive all the way down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Back muscles hug around your spine, low abdominals are toned. Stick your butt out behind you. Exhale, plant your hands back to plank pose. You take your vinyasa however you'd like. So if you want to add push-ups, go for it. If you want to skip it all together, perfectly fine. Maybe you take an extra breath or two in your back bend. We'll see you back in downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, big, spacious, powerful, and strong. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. And then today, you guys, I'm going to give you a little more freedom. So open up your hip or whatever feels good. So any little exploration from your three-legged dog that calls to you. You can stay exactly where you're at with your right leg extended high, or explore, maybe you roll out your ankle, maybe you draw circles with your knee. Make sure your breath is there, and just make sure you stay in the integrity of the posture, so your hips are still lifted, that invisible rope is still pulling up on your belly button. Notice if your left leg gets lazy at any point, hug your left inner thigh in, and then think of lifting through your left sit bone. Take one more big inhale. Everybody extend your right leg super high, lengthen. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So curl in, round your spine, hollow out your belly. Stay here as you breathe in. See if you can lift higher through your waistline, and then lift your right shin even higher. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat, low lunge. Take just a couple breaths to kind of move through your legs. So anything that calls to you. Maybe you straighten and bend your front knee. Maybe you open up your front hip. Maybe you put your back knee down gently, take half splits. So your exploration. And then in your next breath or two, let's meet up in crescent lunge. So as you settle in, find stability through your legs. Hips are square, inner thighs squeeze towards midline. If you're doing that with your inner thighs, you're hugging in, then automatically you should feel a little tone in your low abdominals. Chest lifts, side bodies elongate, spine elongates, and then arms reach up. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Take a couple big deep breaths, just feeling into your crescent lunge this morning. Good. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, turbo twist to the right. So bend your back knee, hover it above the ground. Left arm forward, right arm back. Upper body twist to the right. So try to keep your weight nice and centered. Make sure you're not leaning forward. And then squeeze through your inner thighs. Imagine you want to pull your right hip back and your left thigh forward. Twist from your center. So as you exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit further. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Take one more deep breath. Good job. Now listen, we're going to go straight into a warrior two. So open up in the opposite direction. Back heel pivots down, right arm forward, and left arm back. Take a moment to settle in. So your right toes should face directly forward, left toes face out to the left. Front heel intersects your back arch, or if you'd rather, front heel can line up with your back toes. Notice if your right knee is kind of falling in. You want it to track towards your pinky toe, so really wrap your right butt cheek underneath your body. Next time you breathe in, reach your right fingertips forward. So reach, 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 and then exhale, side angle. Right hand towards the ground, left arm towards the sky. If you want to bring your right elbow to your thigh, perfectly fine. Just rather than sinking into your right shoulder and putting all your weight in your right arm, think of lifting out of your arm. So your right side abdominals, those oblique muscles, pull away from the top of your right thigh like you're creating a little arch. Option to reach your left arm forward. Lengthen through your left side from left fingertips all the way back to your left foot. Breathe into that space. Good job, you guys. Give me about 2 more rounds of breath. If there's a different variation you want to take, you're welcome to. Keep wrapping your right butt cheek underneath you. Track your right knee towards your pinky toe. Bend into your front leg. Keep the bend in your front leg. Next inhale, reverse your warrior. So come all the way up. Front palm faces the sky. Reach up, reach back. Side body stretch in your right side. Breathe into that space. Bend your front knee even more deeply, but stay rooted through the outer edge of your back foot. Stay strong through your back leg. Stay toned through your lowest, deepest abdominals. Breathe into your right side. So imagine you're breathing from the lowest rib on your right side. 2 more rounds. If there's a variation you want to take, please feel free. Your pose, your expression. Nice work, you guys. Next time you inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot. So now you're in a low lunge position. Root into your right foot, left leg floats up, standing splits. So one-legged forward fold is all it really is. You do not have to lift your left leg insanely high. Just find your edge and then be there. Spread your left toes. Try to straighten your left leg as much as possible. Stay where you're at or feel free to explore. So maybe you want to wrap your right arm behind your right leg. Maybe you want to play with handstand hops. Anywhere you want to go, you've got just about 2 more breaths. Nice work, everybody. One more inhale. See if you can lift your left leg a millimeter higher. Reach through your toes. Exhale. Bring your left foot down at the top of your mat. You can give your right leg a little shake out. Big toes touch. Little gap in between your heels. Tuck and curl. Tiny little potato bug ball. So your choice. You can either press your heels down, work the flexibility of your ankles. So some of you may be able to keep your heels on the ground. If not, if you're like me, heels lift up, but have the intention of pressing them down. If you would like, you can lift your heels high, so intentionally lift your heels. Lift them as high as you can, and as you lift your heels up, reach your butt further down. Bring your nose closer to your knees. Option to wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins and give yourself a big squeeze. So just practicing a little bit of balance. Hugging into midline. Take about 2 more rounds wherever you're at. Breathe into your back body, and with each exhale, find your center. Empty all the way out. Good work, my friends. With your next inhalation, halfway lift. So spine parallel to the ground. Heels down. Exhale, fold, bow. Now listen, chair pose. So weight in your heels, bend your knees, lift your heart, eventually reach your arms up. I am keeping my big toes touching, and then I'm squeezing through my inner thighs. If you want to bring your feet further apart, that's fine. Totally up to you. Weight is now back in your heels rather than in your toes. Chest is lifted. Imagine you're trying to squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards your spine. Tone your low abdominals so it doesn't feel like you're just sticking your belly out. Little tone through your low belly. Take one more inhale. Exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. So hinge forward, reach back. Option to float to your tiptoes. See if you can bend your knees more, lift your heels higher. Take one more round. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. High mountain, all the way up as tall as you can grow. Big in breath. Exhale, slow dive. Stay on your tiptoes as you dive. If you want a huge balance challenge, really stick your butt out behind you. Good work. Heels on the ground. Breathe in, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant your hands, step back, move through your vinyasa your way. We will see you back in downward facing dog. Reconnect to your Ujjayi breath. Powerful, spacious inhales, long, strong exhales, all the way to empty. And you should be able to hear your own breath, so find that rhythm, your own internal rhythm, and listen to it. Follow it with your awareness. Let it keep you here in the present moment. Next time you inhale, left leg to the sky. And then again, anywhere you want to go today. So if you want to open your hip, if you want to circle your ankle, circle your knee, any exploration that calls to you. Just make sure you're staying in your 3-legged dog with integrity. So you're still lifting through your belly button. You're still lifting through your right butt cheek. Big, deep breaths. Just noticing, observing, maybe discovering something new. Next time you inhale, extend your left leg high. And I don't care if your hips are square or not. Just reach your left leg as high as you can. Big, huge in-breath. And then exhale, left knee to your nose. So curl in, round, hollow out. Stay here. Take a big inhale and push the ground away. Exhale, softly. Left foot steps forward. Take just a couple breaths or so to explore your legs. So bending, straightening your front leg, opening up through your front hip, your choice. And then next couple breaths, crescent lunge. Meet me there. So as you settle in, really find the strength and stability in your legs. Hug in with your inner thighs, tone through your lowest, deepest abdominals. Chest lifts, spine lengthens, arms reach up. If you do practice with me often, you probably hear me say the same thing so many times. So start eventually just to make that your second nature. It just happens. You don't even have to think about it. It's your muscle memory now. Your body knows. So just when you hear me say those cues, just notice, oh, I'm already doing that, or oh, I forgot about that. So we're just trying to create a more balanced inner body and more wisdom inside of us. So our bodies know how to align themselves, how to make themselves feel really efficient and really good inside. Take one more big inhale into your crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, twist to the left. Back knee bends and hovers. Right arm reaches forward, left arm goes back. Again, make sure you're not leaning forward. So this is one of those things a lot of people do in the beginning. Notice if you're doing it, center your weight. Back knee bends and imagine you want to pull your back thigh forward. Squeeze through your inner thighs, twist through your center. Soften your face. If you want to challenge, see if you can gaze back over your left fingertips. Don't strain your neck. Take 2 more breaths. Use your exhales to twist, twist, twist. Now, next time you breathe in, warrior 2. So in one beautiful movement, left arm comes forward, right arm goes back, back heel pivots down. Take a moment, find your alignment here. So if you need to adjust your feet at all, feel free. Left toes face forward, right toes face to the right. Make sure your hips are nice and open. Your pelvis is nice and neutral. Low abdominals are toned. Shoulders are soft. Next time you inhale, reach, 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 reach forward like you're trying to reach past the top edge of your mat. Then side angle, tip it over. So left elbow can come to your left thigh, but rather than just sinking into your left arm, press up and out of it. So imagine you're trying to create that arch in your left side body. Your left side abdominals are working. Option to reach your right arm forward, bicep next to your ear, and then really lengthen through your right side from right fingertips all the way back to your right foot. Keep your right foot planted firmly. Breathe into that length. Take 2 more rounds. Make sure your left butt cheek is wrapping underneath you, not sticking out behind you. If you feel a little bit of a shaking happening, that's a good thing. You've met an edge. Breathe into it. Next time you inhale, let's rise up to our reverse warrior. So stay in your legs. Reach up and reach back. Lengthen through your left side body now. Right hand can be on your right hip for a little more support. Maybe your right fingertips slide down your right leg. Right arm can even come behind your back. So your variation, breathe into it. And then soften through your outer shell. Keep the bend in your front knee. Lunge deeply. 2 more rounds here. Big deep breaths. Good work, my friends. Really reach. Next time you inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground. Pivot to the ball of your back foot. Or you can just pick your back foot up, lift it, and then land on the ball of your foot. Now from here, we've got our standing splits. So left foot roots, right leg lifts. Think of it as a one-legged forward fold. Forehead towards your shin. Maybe left arm wraps behind. Maybe you play with little handstand hops. Totally up to you where you want to go. Maybe you just lift up to your left tiptoes. Lift through your belly button. So that is the key. Figure out how to use your center in almost every single pose.
I would say in just about every pose in yoga, there is some element of your core. So it doesn't mean we're doing sit-ups the whole entire time, but you always want that connection to your core. That's where everything starts, and then you move out to the periphery and find your expression. Take one more big inhale. See if you can lift your right toes just a little higher. Spread them. Exhale, right foot comes down next to left, top of your mat. You can give your left leg a gentle shake out. And then just like we did before, big toes touch, little gap in between your heels, tuck and curl, tiny little ball. And you can take whichever variation will best serve you here. So maybe your hands stay down, maybe your heels stay down, maybe your heels lift really high, maybe you wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins. Lots of options. Breathe into your back body. Exhale all the way to emptiness. Good job. If your knees are moving out to the side, see if you can squeeze your inner thighs and hug your knees towards each other. Take one more deep breath. Halfway lift as you breathe in, lengthen and realign. Exhale, bow, fold. You can bring your feet out wider if that's how you prefer them. Rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, full body stretch, high mountain, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And let's flow. Here we go, breath to movement. Inhale, reach, lots of length. Exhale, standing back bend. Cactus your arms, lift your heart. Low belly stays toned as you press your hips forward gently. Inhale, re-extend and realign. Exhale, heart guides you all the way down slowly. Don't rush through it. Halfway lift, inhale. So nice and long, back of your neck long. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, Chaturanga. So try to keep that exhale going as you lower. Inhale, Cobra Up Dog. Keep your shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips, spine nice and long. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. And then ever so slowly and softly, exhale, right foot steps forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. So rise up, reach up, maybe gaze up. Strong through your legs. Exhale, turbo twist to the right. Left arm forward, right arm back. Now inhale, warrior two. So arms reach in the opposite direction, back heel pivots down. Good. Exhale, reach forward, tip it over, side angle. Empty all the way out. Inhale, reverse warrior. So take it up and back. Keep that deep bend in your front knee. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down, framing your front foot. Pivot to the ball of your back foot. Inhale, standing splits. Left leg lifts. Take a hop if you want. Exhale, tuck and curl, tiny little ball. Inhale, spinal extension, lift halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now listen, chair pose, breathe in, bend your knees, sit your butt back, heart lifts, arms reach. Exhale, chair planer, drinking bird. So swing your arms back, option to float up to tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. High mountain as tall as you can grow, breathe in. Maybe stay on your tiptoes. Exhale, slow dive. So stick your butt out behind you. Take it all the way down. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, lower down, Chaturanga, strong belly. Inhale, curl open. Roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, big inhale, left leg extends. Lots of length. Exhale, softly left foot steps forward, low lunge. Inhale, slowly rise, strong through your legs, crescent lunge. Exhale, turbo twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. And then with your inhale, warrior two. So cartwheel your arms in the opposite direction, back heel pivots down. Inhale, or excuse me, exhale, side angle. So tip it over. Empty all the way out. Inhale, come back up, reverse your warrior, reach up and reach back. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to the ground, low lunge. With your inhale, standing splits, option to take a hop if you want. And exhale, tiny little potato bug ball, curl in, get small. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. We're gonna go straight to our next round. Inhale all the way up, high mountain. And exhale, standing back bend, cactus your arms, open your heart. Inhale, re-extend, realign. Exhale, take it down, slow dive. Breathe in, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra Up Dog. Try not to lock out your elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, listen carefully. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Use your obliques, little twist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, or aim higher, as high as you can get on your right arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, softly and slowly, right foot to the top of your yoga mat, low lunge. Inhale, takes you up, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist to the right, bend your back knee, twisted turbo. And inhale, warrior two. Back heel pivots down, right arm forward, left arm back. Exhale, side angle, reach forward, tip it over, empty out. Stay in your legs, breathe in, reverse your warrior. Reach, 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 right side body long. Exhale, hands to the ground, low lunge. Root into your right foot. Inhale, standing splits, hop if you want to. And exhale, tuck and curl your little tiny ball. With your in-breath, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Last time in your chair pose, lift your heart, tone your belly. Exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. Stay on your tiptoes if you can, all the way up, high mountain. And maybe stay on your tiptoes. Exhale, slow dive. Take it down. Good work, you guys. Heels on the ground, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. All right, listen, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, little twist. Get just as close as you can. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left to left, as high as you can get on your left arm. Draw navel to spine, so your belly is working. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, slowly and softly. Left foot steps forward. Strong through your legs. Rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, turbo twist to the left. Back knee bends. Good. Inhale. Warrior two. So left arm forward, right arm back, back heel pivots down. Exhale, side angle. Reach forward, tip it over, empty out. Inhale, come all the way back up, reverse your warrior. Stay in your legs, bend your front knee. Exhale, hands to the ground, low lunge. Root into your left foot. Inhale, standing splits, right leg to the sky. Exhale, tuck and curl, little tiny potato bug ball. All right, you guys. We're going to stay here in our little tiny ball. If you would like, option to turn it into a toe stand. So lift your heels high, squeeze your inner thighs together and hug in with your heels. Start to direct your knees straight forward. And then see if you can bring your hands up to your heart. Soften your face. Focus your gaze. Take slow, deep breaths. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Lengthen your spine. And if you fall in and out a few times, no big deal. Feel all those little tiny muscles in your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves working to help you balance here. Take about 2 more breaths. Good job, you guys. Now, everybody, bring your fingertips to the ground in front of you. If you need extra cushion for your knees, you can take the top of your mat, kind of fold it over like this. You're going to bring your knees down. Keep your toes tucked under. Feet about hips width distance apart. So bring your big toes so they're not touching anymore. Take them apart. And then sit your hips back onto your heels for screaming toe. So hips to heels, toes tucked under. Don't let your heels drift open or drift apart. Hug them in towards midline. Hands can rest on your lap or hands to heart center. Close your eyes. I know it's a lot. I know it's intense. Breathe into it all the way down to the soles of your feet. Take about 3 more deep breaths. Stretch the soles of your feet. Wake them up. This is a part of our body that usually spends its life just in our shoes, getting no attention. Just those muscles there get atrophied through time. So we're waking them up, giving them life. Take 1 more deep breath. End of your exhale, you can bring your hands to the ground in front of you. Untuck your toes. So now your toenails face the ground. Sit back onto your heels, regular hero's pose. So this should feel relatively good. You can stay here, you guys. If you would like, here's an option to take it a little deeper. Hands come back behind you, or I just bring my fingertips. And then see if you can kind of rock back, so lift your knees a little bit, and then you're stretching through the front of your ankles, the tops of your feet. If this doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it. Keep pressing down through your toenails. Lift your knees just a little bit. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. If that doesn't feel good, if you want to stay in your hero's pose, perfectly fine. Take a couple more breaths. Nice job, everybody. All right, from here, go ahead and unfold your mat, plant your hands, and just step your feet back, plank position. You can move through a vinyasa or go directly back to downward facing dog, up to you. And then once you're back in your down dog, just pedal it out. It should feel nice to pedal out your heels now. Notice how much more awareness you probably have in your feet now. Notice how they feel. All right, inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Open up your right hip, bend your right knee. Perfect place to stay. This is an awesome stretch. Stay here if you want. Otherwise, option to flip your dog. So right tiptoes come down behind you. Right arm lifts and reaches forward. Try to rotate your heart so it can look straight up at the sky. Press your hips up. Breathe down into your belly. If you're with me, 2 more rounds in your back bend. Good work, you guys. Let's meet back in a regular three-legged down dog. So right leg extends super high. Breathe in. And then exhale, pigeon pose. Right shin to the top of your mat. Set your body down gently. If you would rather take this pose in a seat or on your back, fine with me. It's the beauty of being at home. You can do what works best for you. You don't have to feel bad at all. I am not offended by it. So think of pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. You're hugging in towards midline, finding the structure, the strength of this pose. You're plugging the femur bones into the sockets so we're not sinking into our joints. We want to stretch our muscles. So once you've got that, slowly begin bowing forward, lower down. Humble pigeon, and we've got about 7 to 10 breaths. So we will be here a little bit longer. Breathe into it, soften around it. And again, if there's a different variation you would rather take, choice is always yours. Send your breath down into your outer right hip. Unclench your jaw. Soften your outer body, your outer shell. Soften your energetic body. So just energetically, how would it feel to surrender to the pose, to let go into the pose? Big deep breaths. Exhale out your mouth anytime you'd like. You are about halfway there, so about 4 or 5 more rounds. Last couple breaths. And then slowly begin to lift your upper body. And then we're going to take it back to a 3-legged down dog. So plant your hands, curl your back toes under, send your right leg back and up, give it a nice little shake out. And then set your right foot on the ground, walk it out in your down dog. Option to take a vinyasa, just kind of reset before we move to the other side, or take a couple more breaths just walking it out in your down dog. All right, my friends, next time you breathe in, left leg to the sky. Open your left hip, bend your left knee, squeeze your outer left butt cheek, stay here, or option to flip it. So left foot comes down behind you. I like to stay on my left tiptoes for a wild thing. The outer edge of my right foot is karate chopping the ground. If you want to bring the soles of both feet down, it's called flip dog rather than wild thing. So totally up to you, just 2 different poses. Heart is open, hips are lifted, breathe down into your belly. Couple more rounds if you're with me. Open through your heart and feel your breath moving into that space. End of your next exhale, let's bring it back. 3-legged down dog, left leg lifted, super high, big inhale. Exhale, pigeon pose, left shin forward. Set your body down. So pull left hip back, right hip forward to start. Find center, find midline, find the integrity of the pose. Hug in. Then let it go, bow forward. Visualize your breath now moving into your outer left hip. Exhale out your mouth anytime. If you need a different variation or would like a different variation, that is fine with me. You're about halfway there. Take about 5 more rounds of breath. Relax the muscles in your face. Notice, and this is a personal thing for me, so I'm just going to throw it out there. If it resonates, awesome. If not, no big deal. But notice if you feel kind of a tenseness or a resistance or maybe even a fear in your upper abdomen and your solar plexus chakra. So for me, sometimes I feel like energy kind of gets stuck there. If you can relate to that, just let it be, let that sensation be, but breathe into it. Kind of my solar plexus, my mid-back area. It's your power center, so breathe into that space if you would like. About 3 more breaths. Exhale out your mouth at any time. And I will leave it up to you ultimately. So if you feel like you need a couple more rounds on this side, please feel free to stay a little longer. Eventually, we'll find our way up to our 3-legged down dog. So plant your hands, tuck your back toes, left leg back and up, gentle shake out. And then left foot to the ground, walk it out. Take one final vinyasa if it's calling to you. Otherwise, stay in your final down dog. Breathe into it. Find strength, find length, find space. Just feel it, experience it in your body. Let's take one more deep breath, everybody, in your down dog. And then end of your exhale, set your knees down gently. Find your way to a seat. So before we go down onto our backs, just one seated posture, wide-legged straddle with your legs. So if you want to turn to the side of your mat so you can have your feet on your mat, then that's fine. Doesn't matter which direction you're facing. So wide-legged straddle position. Get your legs as wide as you can. Even if that is like this, that's fine. So take your inner thighs now, spiral them down and out. So it's like you're moving your butt out from underneath you so your sit bones can be flat on the ground. Flex your toes, and rather than pressing your legs down so much that your heels lift, if you can see my heels lifting, I want you to press your heels down so you get this little micro bend in the backs of your knees. If it is hard for you to sit up tall, this is where you stay. Fingertips behind you, sit up tall, and imagine you're trying to stick your butt out and reach your heart forward. So rather than rounding, feeling like you're gonna rock backwards, butt sticks out, you're kind of leaning forward, heart forward. If you want to take it further, arms reach, biceps next to your ears, lead with your heart, dive forward, and then eventually hands to the ground. Now, see if you can press the backs of your thighs down without letting your heels lift. So press down through the backs of your thighs, almost like somebody was stepping on the tops of your thighs. Keep your feet flexed, toes point straight up. Stay where you're at, or just slowly spider crawl your hands over towards your left leg. You can frame your left leg, take a breath or two there. And then staying really low, walk your hands through center over to your right leg. As you come through center, see if you can lengthen more through your low spine. Keep pressing down through the backs of both thighs. Both sit bones stay rooted. Keep walking your hands from side to side, not rushing it, taking it slowly. Big deep breaths. You've got about 3 to 5 more rounds wherever you are at. Breathe down into your low back, into your hips, and then imagine you could even breathe into the backs of your legs. Create space. You're almost there, you guys. One last great big breath. Come back to center if you're going from side to side. And then ever so slowly roll it up so you can start to crawl your hands in, and then eventually just roll it up, neck and head lift up very, very last. All right, and then legs facing towards the top of your mat. Oh man, maybe give them a nice little shake out. And take it all the way down onto your back. You made it. Hug your knees in, tiny little potato bug balls, squeeze them in, rock side to side. Keep your right knee drawn in, extend your left leg forward, set it on the ground. Supine spinal twist, so right arm out to the right, hips scoot over to the right, roll onto your left side body. So you can adjust your hips a little bit. So your right hip stacks on top of left. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. Breathe into your belly. Soften your face, soften your outer shell. Let the ground hold more and more of your weight with each breath. Couple more rounds. End of your next exhale, roll back onto your spine. Keep your left leg extended, but adjust your hips so they're straight down from your shoulders. Right knee towards your right armpit, hands around the front of your right shin. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then half happy baby with your right leg. So sole of your right foot faces the sky. If your chin is lifted a lot and you've got a big, huge curve in the back of your neck, then bring your left hand behind your head like a little pillow. So try to keep a neutral spine, neutral neck, and imagine there's a heavy sandbag on top of your left thigh. If you need to bend your left knee, left foot to the ground as a modification, that's fine too. Take about 1 or 2 more breaths. Pull down with the strength in your arm, flex your toes, press up through your heel. Good work. Release your right leg, take it out. You can give both legs a little shake out or maybe take a full body stretch, reach your arms overhead. And then when you're ready, other side. So left knee draws in, scoot your hips over to the left side of your mat. Left arm reaches out, roll over onto your right side body. So right hip, the outside of your right hip is against the ground and your left hip stacks on top of right. So feel free to kind of move your hips around and adjust so that you feel nice and aligned. Gaze up or over your left shoulder and then breathe down into your belly. Good job, my friends. Take about 2 more breaths.
And then when you feel pretty much even on both sides with your twist, roll back onto your spine. Give your left leg that nice big squeeze. Hug your left knee towards your left armpit. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then half happy baby with your left leg. If you want, if that was nice or helpful, bring your right hand behind your head. So try to keep a neutral neck, back of your neck long rather than a huge curve and your chin tilting up. Imagine that heavy sandbag on top of your right thigh. To modify, right knee can bend, right foot on the ground if that feels better for you. Couple more rounds in your half happy baby. And then if you would like to, you can turn it into a full happy baby at any time. And if there are any more poses that you would like to move through to complete your own practice, then take a moment to do so. So as you settle into your final relaxation, I will read you a passage. It's from the book called The Wonder of Being by Jeff Foster. This passage itself is called The Secret. What a miracle it is to be alive right now, on this new day, on this day of all days. What a gift, what indescribable joy to eat breakfast, to shower, to put on clothes, to walk out into the fresh air, to experience pain and pleasure, happiness and sadness, even though it's all just a play of consciousness, even though everything happens for nobody. To live, even though life is not separate from death, to move about this beautiful, fragile, transitory world, to meet yourself again and again in 1,000 different places, to enjoy everything that life has to offer, even though you know you will eventually die, even though this body may be ravaged by cancer, or the heart may fail, or the limbs may be shattered. To love others with all of your heart and all of your soul and all of your might, to love them without conditions, to love them fiercely, passionately, to love them until it hurts, even though you know they will die, all of them, every single one. To go on, to insist on life and nothing less, even though every experience you ever have will fade into nothingness, even though one day you will struggle to remember if any of it really happened at all. Yes, at last, here is the secret. The only meaning of life is this very moment. So, for these last few moments, just allow yourself to be here. Let everything else just fade away. Be in your body. Feel your breath as it naturally rises and falls. Feel your heart as it beats inside your chest. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the space you are in. Feel the life inside of your body right now in this moment. Just rest here. Soak it all in for as long as you'd like. And this is where I will leave you. So stay for 30 seconds, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. And then when you are ready, you can close your practice for yourself in a way that resonates for you. So thank you so much for joining me, for letting me guide you. I love you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.